Told you we always been ready. I don't need people that's petty, that weigh on me heavy while I'm being steady. I need a record with Felly. We get it bouncing like Betty's, I feel like I'm Nelly. Don't bring the beef like a deli, it's leaving I levy. No sleeping on me like I'm Freddy. Chris Breeze, how I do, hit him with the moves. Left hand step back, ballin' like I'm Coos. All faith, God's plan, you just gotta choose. God slaps, nothing left to prove. Y'all gotta leave me alone. Lately I've been in my zone. Told them no cap like I fitted, but lately the flows have been straight off the dome. I feel like I'm MVP, like my name Patty Mahomes. If it ain't about money, don't hit up my phone, cause lately I've been in my zone.
Hello, welcome to the Cowboy Show, hosted by Ben Carey and Nick Gronerad, combining expert human opinions with cutting-edge simulation models to help you arrive at the best picks each week. Inside Edge Community. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome to today's stream. We have what I believe is the last big Saturday slate of the college basketball season. Ben, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. You know, I stayed up semi-late and trying to get a few bets placed before a few moves. And yeah, I mean, this is a bittersweet last Saturday, but we know what's to come in the next few weeks, so it's all good.
Yeah. So we have got to be close to 150 games today. I mean, we've had some big Saturday slates, and I think that this might be the biggest one of them all. I think a lot of teams close out their regular seasons today. Yeah, in the next couple of days, we're going to be getting into conference tournaments. I'm excited to start watching those. We can start solidifying a couple teams into March Madness.
I think it's 140, Nick, and yeah, you're correct. This is, I believe, the biggest slate that we've had, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. So for anybody who is new to the stream, which I think is a lot of people today, first and foremost, welcome. Glad to have you here. And here is a quick rundown of how everything works. So we have 5 categories of games today. You can see these categories listed on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. For the first 4 categories, we have selected a game that fits this category. These are games that are interesting for 4 different reasons. These are not necessarily our top plays of the day, just some things to start some discussion. And for each of these games, you as the audience have the opportunity to vote on your lean. I will give my lean, Ben will give his lean, and you guys get to vote and get your leans up on the screen as well. Last category of the day is our actual favorite plays for the day. I have a completely off-the-wall play that I like today. I'm not entirely sure what Ben likes, although I have a sneaking suspicion I know what it is. Yeah, but you guys will have the opportunity to vote for that as well.
And as far as what I posted on TikTok, one of those is probably up there with my favorite play of the day. The other isn't really like a huge favorite play of mine. So just to we'll go over it over the stream. Yeah.
So also chat. I'm gonna shit talk you a little bit, just as an entity, not any individuals. But I think in the 3 streams that we've done this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, chat is 1-14 on their leads. So, got to step it up a little bit. We're counting on you.
I think that's like 8%.
It's not good. I do have a math degree. I know enough to know that that's not good. So, expecting better today. But I believe in you. I believe in you guys, chat.
Yeah, progression, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly. So, without further ado, let's hop into category 1 and get started.
Degenerates only.
I was looking at Ballsack State -4 against Dickhead State. Ballsacks covered their last 10 straight games, and my boy says they're a wagon.
So, category number 1, retiring the category for the season after today.
On the right note or the wrong note?
On the appropriate note, right? There's no other note that this category could have ended on than this one. We have the absolute most degenerate game of the entire season. We have Green Bay. We have IUPUI playing against each other in the season's toilet bowl. I hope to never see either of these teams play ever again. Ben, tell us, for anybody who might be living under a rock, just how bad these teams are.
Man. Well, first of all, IUPUI has been playing with 6 players the whole season. Well, not the whole season, but majority of the season after a bunch of injuries. And then they had the announcement come out that they're looking for walk-on players. So they're having open tryouts. And funny enough, I think it sparked a little bit of effort in IUPUI. I mean, they were already at the very bottom, so it was hard to get any worse than they were. But, I mean, they had a few close games. They've been covering, right? They won against Robert Morris, which is another bad team. And the Horizon League is probably one of the worst leagues in college basketball. But Green Bay, on the other hand, over the last 5 to 8 games, they've been arguably worse than IUPUI. And I watched them play twice. I had one live bet, I think, on Cleveland State, and then I forget the other reason why. But they're honestly as bad as IUPUI has been recently, too, as well. So this is going to come down to who isn't worse, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I definitely do think that the open tryout for IUPUI has sparked a little bit of effort, but effort can only take you so far, right? You have to actually have a little bit of talent to go with that effort. And against some better teams, I mean, with big spreads, I think just the pace of play has kept them in cover territory. But man, this is I think somebody in chat said it perfectly, pick 6. This is not the game that we wanted, but it's the game that we deserve.
Yeah.
So also, real quick, Ben, you should go into Discord and check your mic input. Make sure it's on your actual mic and not your webcam.
Oh, is it?
It's quite staticky.
Okay, let me do that right now.
So lines in this game. IUPUI at home, 6.5 point underdogs. This is probably the lowest spread that we've seen for IUPUI in a very long time. Over under set at 117.5, which is among the lowest totals that we've seen all season. I think that we've seen a couple other games in the 116, 117 range, but nothing below that. So Ben, or I guess I can start this one off while you're looking at your.
Well, actually, does it sound better?
Oh,
everyone?
That sounds so good.
Sounds bad. Perfect. I'm ready to give my pick of this amazing degenerate-only game. Oh, wait, it's 6.5 now, too. I didn't see that. So it was 5.5. I am going to go with the Jaguars at home, and that is IUPUI. I'm going to go with plus 6.5 for IUPUI. I think they lose, but they cover. It's a low total. Somehow, some way, they're going to keep it within 6. Yeah. IUPUI.
Yeah, as much as it absolutely pains me to say this, I think I agree with you.
It's okay.
I mean, not that agreeing with you is the thing that pains me. I like agreeing with you. But I don't like picking IUPUI to do anything well. The model has this game at about somewhere between 5 and 5.5 points, and I do kind of think that IUPUI, like you were saying, is on some kind of upward trend. Is it like an upward trend that's leading them anywhere other than not the basement? No, but it is an upward trend. So so I'm gonna take
Nick,
the Jags.
last thing I want to say about this is, if you ask a casual basketball fan, college basketball fan, they know IUPUI is bad. Not a lot of casual. Well, I would say maybe it's like 50-50 know how bad Green Bay is. So I'll leave that there.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay only has 3 Division I wins this year.
One of them was against IUPUI, right?
Yeah. They have a win against IUPUI, they have a win against Detroit Mercy, and they have a win against Robert Morris. All of those at home. So no wins on the road all year for Green Bay. I think this is a decent spot for IUPUI to snag a cover.
Yeah, and actually, Nick, this is a spot where, we go through these categories and sometimes we're, not super confident. Sometimes we are very confident. I would put this for me. I'm not super confident, but it's a strong lean because I just think they're getting too many points here. It's just hard to have that confidence with such a bad team.
Yeah, I actually kind of like this also. Yeah, I don't bet on this unless you have to bet on this, or also feel kind of strongly about it.
Yeah,
I will say somebody was asking, should I take this at 6? I mean, you can I hate the word sprinkle, but sprinkle on it at 6 if you really want to watch this game for some reason. But with the 150 games today, there's like Patrick said, there's not a ton of reason to force it.
Yeah, and we'll go through some at the end too, that we like a little more than that one. So
yeah, although Ben, chat agrees with us, which might be good or it might be bad. But the top 2 vote getting options were IUPUI and the over, and then IUPUI and the under. So I think we are good now to hop along into category number 2.
Mid-major spotlight.
Millions on the table, that's major. I turn dirt into diamonds, that's major.
So category number 2 is mid-major spotlight, where we take a look at some good mid-major teams, unlike the last ones. Some teams who might make it into March Madness that you should get familiar with, because they might cause an upset in March. They could bust your bracket. And in fact, one of the teams that we are talking about today literally did bust my bracket last year. And that is North Texas. So North Texas, 14-1 in Conference USA, winners of 13 straight, 19 of their last 20. At home, taking on another very good team in Louisiana Tech. This North Texas team is really good. They're into the top 30, or into the top 40 in KenPom, into the top 35 in Bart Torvik ratings. This is a team that if they end up making the tournament, which they probably need to win the Conference USA Championship to actually make the tournament, but this is an 11 or 12 seed in March this year. They were a 13 seed last year. They upset number 4 seed Purdue in the first round, and it's a team to keep in mind. So again, they are at home. They are 5.5 point favorites against Louisiana Tech, which tells you how good Louisiana Tech is as well. Over-under in this game sitting at 126.5. So Ben, what are your thoughts here?
So this is a rematch of a game earlier in the season between these two back on January 29th, where North Texas won by 1. Very close game. I expect very much the same in this one. Now, I have to think, Nick, that the line here is playing into the revenge spot. Would you say?
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that North Texas is one of the slowest teams in the country. So against good teams, they don't blow them out. It's hard for North Texas to put together 10, 15-point wins against teams that are actually good basketball teams, just because of how slow they play. They're literally the second slowest team in the country. I think UVA is the only slower team. They play less than 60 possessions per 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that in the tournament last year, I think that was a big reason why Purdue struggled at times. That game went into OT, so it did end up going over the total. But Yeah, I mean that's something where North Texas is going to play to that. And in that first matchup, Nick, North Texas was a 6-point favorite
at Louisiana Tech.
I'm looking at. I think North Texas was favored, unless I'm going crazy.
No, so that first game was Louisiana Tech -3 at Louisiana Tech.
Oh, interesting. Well, Action Network's wrong.
Are you looking at this game? Because I think this game is 5.5 or 6.
It's an error with Action Network. So my apologies. So the first game was 3. You said?
Yeah, it was Louisiana Tech -3.
Yeah, man, 6 just seems like a lot, Nick.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
what
kind
am
of
I missing here?
I think that 5.5, 6 is a lot of points. I mean, this is a game that is going to be close, unless a team has one of their worst performances of the season. There's just no two ways about that. North Texas, they win games, but just because of their tempo, they play close games. They play games that are low scoring. That kind of, unless it's against bad teams, it kind of will come down to free throws and execution down the stretch. But I think I like Louisiana Tech to cover 5.5 here.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with you on that. Again, I think North Texas most likely squeezes out a win here, but the margin is going to be pretty close down the stretch. Nick, this reminds me a lot of the Wyoming-Colorado State game, right? Where it's like Wyoming won the first one, and then it's kind of that revenge spot, but it's pushing it point-wise, right? Playing into that a little bit, and now you're getting into that 5.5, 6 range. I just think it's going to be within 6, I would say.
Yeah, it's just like a couple too many points. And if it's at +6, that's even better. I got the polls and the widgets and stuff ready at this point probably an hour ago. So it's possible that lines have moved across the board. Although for sure, with a number like this, it's going to be 5.5 in some spots. It's going to be 6 in some spots. So it's important to shop around. I think at +6, I mean, that's obviously even better for Louisiana Tech, getting the push at 6 instead of a loss. So chat likes the over here quite a bit, which is not so surprising because the total is only 126.5. 87% of the vote on the over. Chat's definitely favors North Texas to cover spread-wise, but the over is the highest vote getter. So we'll throw that in the chat.
It's going to be a really good game, guys. Like,
yeah,
I can't say enough. Like, one of these two teams, probably a 90% chance, is going to make the tournament, depending on who wins this conference. And they're going to be in that 14, maybe even 13 seed, Nick. Like, I don't think they'll be a 15.
North Texas is an 11 or 12 if they make the tournament.
You think they'll be a 12?
Yeah.
I guess if they win, yeah, that makes sense. But I think Louisiana Tech would be a 13, 14.
Yeah,
but they're still going to be around
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just remember that. And again, the style play that North Texas plays, it translates very well into the tournament. It really does.
It really does, yeah. They're a crazy good 3-point shooting team.
Yeah. Nick, you'll see them like an 8-point underdog against like an Arkansas or something, and you'll be like, oh my God, Arkansas. It's like, no.
All right, so I see some people talking about some other games. We will have time for some Q&A at the end, just talking about some other random games. So stick around for that if you've got questions.
Yep.
Although that being said, let's go ahead and move along to category number 3.
Bubble bursters.
About to bubble, baby. About to bubble, baby.
So category number 3 is bubble bursters, where we have a team who is squarely on the bubble for the NCAA tournament. They have a very important game today, and if they lose, their bubble might burst. The team that we are talking about today is the Syracuse Orange. They are at home taking on Duke. And this really feels like maybe not so much a for sure make game for Syracuse. I don't think that winning this game gets them into March, but it is for sure a break game for Syracuse. And Ben, you had a really interesting stat for me last night.
So about that stat, I'm like 98% sure that it's accurate, but I had to double check and I couldn't. Okay, here was the stat. A team has never made the tournament as an at-large with 15 losses.
And Syracuse is currently sitting at 13.
Yes.
So if they lose this game and lose in the conference tournament, that would give them 15 losses, which is the number that an at-large team has never made the tournament at.
And I think, Nick, Syracuse has made it with 14 losses, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
But in that season, they did have some pretty big wins. They had some big wins and then, some tough losses. So the tournament committee said, hey, you had enough there. This game, this would be a big win, right? And they need a big win on this resume. If you go through, they've had some great wins, but not like a outstanding win. I mean, the Indiana double OT, solid, but Indiana's a fringe bubble team.
Yeah, but that was literally the team that we featured on this segment the last time.
Exactly. Other than that, Nick, I mean, what's their next best win? It's not popping off the page.
Probably Wake Forest.
Yeah, so they need a big win. They're coming off a loss against Notre Dame, a game where they could not hit a three, just like Georgia Tech, Nick, at home. I know they went 10 for 33. They started to hit some down the stretch, but Buddy Boeheim, he's been a little cold. I hate to think about the get right spot, Nick, but doesn't this just feel like a get right spot for Syracuse to score and just have a good shooting performance offensively?
Yeah, I mean, this is such a tough game. It feels like. I mean, it really does feel like it comes down to, does Syracuse shoot the ball well? I mean, I think that Duke is going to destroy them on the glass with Edwards out for the year.
Yes,
and with all the bigs that Duke has. So I mean, it really is going to come down to, does Syracuse hit their threes or not? So somebody in the chat, Patrick, was saying Syracuse is a kind of different beast at home. And they have played a lot better at home. So their last few home games, they beat Georgia Tech. I mean, that wasn't a good game for them, but they did win that game in OT at home. They covered against Boston College at home. They covered against Louisville at home. They destroyed Wake Forest at home. And they destroyed Clemson and Pitt at home in their last few home games. Their only loss at home of the year was at Virginia.
And Nick, with Syracuse, I mean, at this point, teams know what they're going to try to do offensively, right? And that's shoot threes. They have Gerard, they have Jimmy Boeheim, Buddy Boeheim, and they don't really have any inside presence. So there's going to be a lot of threes shot. I mean, the last few games, right? 27, 23, 32, 23. I guess that this number is going to be north of 33. I really do. I just think there's and the other thing with the pace, right? They played two teams with semi-lower paces. Duke has a very up-tempo pace. So
not really.
I mean
Duke is like square middle of the pack, 141 in pace.
Okay. Well, in comparison to Notre Dame and Georgia Tech, I believe. Anyways,
I mean, both of those teams are snail.
I think with the zone too, you have what's his face? AJ. I'm spacing his last name for Duke. Who?
Yeah, it's Griffin.
I think he had like 4 or 5 threes in that first matchup, but this is just going to be a game where I think Duke has a lot of success against that zone. I think they they match up pretty well offensively against the zone with the shooters, and then the way they can get the ball in the paint, and offensive rebounding is going to be huge in this. There's going to be a lot of second chance points, and I just think with all those things, my favorite play here is going to be the over. But if I were to pick a side for this segment, I'm gonna go with Syracuse +7. I think they keep it close enough with all things considered, and I think they lose by 5.
Yeah, this is another one. It kind of makes me feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to take Cuse here as well. And I think the difference is them being at home. This is just a much better team at home.
Yeah, and
I think
I wouldn't say
Brandon
Syracuse is awful.
Yeah, well, I think he's a Syracuse fan because he said we.
Oh, we still have
everybody. People have very strong opinions, for better or for worse, about their teams.
Yep, that is very true.
Oh, also, I saw Coda in the chat ask earlier. So the dash about Sims. The Sims are up in the Discord, just in picture format. The dashboard is still down. There's a lot of progress being made behind the scenes on the dashboard. Potentially even later today. That'll be back and up and running.
Yep.
So what does the model have for the over? The model does not like the over in this game. I don't like the over in this game either. I like the under quite a bit.
Nick, I wonder if the 2-3 zone confuses the model.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it kind of comes down to why I like the under is I just think that there's going to be no second chance points and no transition offense.
Either team?
For either team, especially not for Syracuse. I mean, in that game against Georgia Tech that they just played, crashing the offensive glass was just not a priority. And I think against Duke, with all the bigs that Duke has, it's going to be even less of a priority. So the idea is just going to be to get back on defense, and that's going to slow the tempo down. And second chance points are just inherently also good for overs, obviously, because it's points.
Yeah, I think if Syracuse can hit over 38% from 3, this goes over, but they haven't done that lately, so.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And no, we have not talked about Michigan State Purdue. We can touch on that, and I guess a lot of the noon Eastern games, just in the couple minutes that we'll have after the regularly scheduled programming is up. I don't have a lot of thoughts on that Michigan State Purdue game. It's going to be a good one. I don't have any leans there though.
Mm-hmm. BRB too. Hop into the next category. I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, and real quick, I will say that chat likes Syracuse there as well. The poll results was 36 votes on Syracuse to cover +7, 17 votes on Duke to cover the -7. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into category number 4.
Game of the day.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star.
So category number 4. Game of the day. We have a top 10 matchup in the Big 12. There was a lot of good games to choose from today. But I felt like with two top 10 teams going at it here, we couldn't not choose Baylor and Kansas. So in this game, Baylor is at home, favored by 2.5, over under sitting at 147.5. And so this Baylor team is in a bit of a rough spot, relatively speaking, I would say. They're bitten by the injury bug. So Jonathan Chamwa-Chachwa, as we've talked about probably every game that they've played since this happened, is out for the season with a knee injury. LJ Cryer, their leading scorer, or at least at one point was their leading scorer. That might have changed since he's been out. Yeah, it's Flagler now. Is out in this game as well. And I think the Chamwa-Chachwa injury, I keep talking about this, is so important for this Baylor team, especially against high-level competition. And the reason for that is, I mean, they don't have a ton of size. They don't have a ton of depth inside. It had kind of been him and Flo Thamba splitting minutes at the 5, basically 50-50, allowing Jeremy Sokan to play at the 4 and allow some other guards to play at the 4. But without him, it's tough. It's tough. And against this Kansas team, I don't see it happening. I haven't even looked at the model yet for this game, but I really like Kansas here. Ben, I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I'm leaning Kansas, and I understand why the line is -2.5, and it's the revenge narrative, right? They lost by 24.
Yeah,
to Kansas on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that has to be one of the reasons why we're seeing. I mean, essentially, this line is saying that in a neutral site, you know, Kansas would be favored by probably a point or two, but it's pretty much even on a neutral site. So to me, that isn't right. It seems like this should be closer to a pick'em.
Yeah, so I want to take a look here actually at this Baylor and Kansas game that they played earlier, and a big issue actually was some foul trouble for Baylor's bigs. So Tchamwa Tchatchoua, he finished with 3 fouls, but Flo Thamba fouled out in 17 minutes. They got no production from these guys. They got 9 points combined from the two of them. Jeremy Sokan had to play 25 minutes. They had to bring in other guys to play minutes. And I think that taking the 23 minutes that Jonathan Tchamwa Tchatchoua played in that game out and having to give them to somebody else, plus I'm sure a very heavy emphasis is going to be placed on getting Flo Thamba into foul trouble again early on. I think it's a matchup nightmare for Baylor.
Yeah, I agree. Nick, what does the model have for the total? I know you didn't look at the side perspective.
Yeah, model has this going under. Model really likes Kansas unders.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of leaning over, but I wanted to just see that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, the model kind of likes the under on most things.
Yeah.
So I would take that with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Nick, for me, I am going to go with Kansas.
You're allowed to fade the model.
No, well, okay, so I'm kind of leaning over, though, too.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just trying to think of what I want to put down officially on here. You know what? Put down the over for me.
All right, I like it. We can't have the same pick every time.
Oh, I guess that's probably the first time that would have happened.
No, I think it was like that on Wednesday with you and I.
Well, that was probably a good thing because I think they went 3-2.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the best bet, they went.
Yeah, I think we both had our best bets.
2-2 then.
Yeah, I think we went 2-2. All right, so chat poll results are in. Very split. Nothing got more than 38% of the vote, although it does look like the under is the winner. So Kansas to cover, and the under was the highest vote getter at 14 votes. Kansas overall finishes with 18. The under finishes with 24. Baylor finishes with 19, and the over finishes with 13. So it's going to be the under. So chat is fading you, Ben.
And I took that personally.
Mm-hmm. You better. You're gonna go beat up chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a pillow and Sharpie the word chat and.
Just
if it loses.
Yeah, like go to the gym, right? Like a punching bag.
What's the movie where he's like, "Fuck you, clown"? Anyone?
I'm sure somebody in chat knows. One of the movie experts.
And if they don't, then I'm 100% making that up. I don't think there's a movie with that.
we could just make our own movie, right?
Oh, Happy Gilmore, duh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
I was like, it sounds familiar. I couldn't place it.
I knew it was like,
You're gonna die, clown.
oh yeah. I knew it was either that or old school. Like, a lot of those movies in my head, it's just like the same movie when I quote things. Mm-hmm. There's just so many like similar quotes. You're gonna die, clown. You're gonna die, chat. Ooh, best bets.
Yeah. So hold on.
Oh
yeah.
man, I know. I gotta. Okay.
You jumped the gun on Wednesday. Started going before I even got to the video intro. Even got the poll going. All right. So it is time for our best bets of the day. So before I play the video clip and before Ben and I get into ours, chat, I need to know what you guys are on in order to make this poll. So if you are on a spread as your favorite play of the day, give me the team plus the number. If you're on a money line, give me the team and the number that the money line is at. And if you're on a total, give me both teams and the actual number that the total is at. Give you guys a couple seconds. I'm going to play the video clip.
Big brain plays.
Come on. Think. Brain blast!
And yeah, I was trying not to laugh as the video was playing. Did anybody remember when killer clowns were roaming cities in 2016? Simpler times. The simpler times is what got me.
The funniest part about that is like people were like, I don't think this is necessarily a crime, so I don't know.
Yeah, like is it a crime to dress up as a clown?
Like 911, there's a clown outside, and then like the 911 operators are like, oh, sounds entertaining out there in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny.
All right, so let's see what we got. I see Larry was the first one who came in with a North Carolina -4. Put that one in the poll for Larry. South Carolina +11. Somebody said Gamecocks +11. You know, there's actually 2 Division I college basketball teams with the nickname Gamecocks, not just South Carolina.
Jacksonville State, right?
Jacksonville State is also the Gamecocks.
That's why they pay me the big bucks around here, right?
Yeah.
Are you sure there's only 2? Yeah,
I think that there's only 2. I mean, yeah, I think that there's only 2.
Can't be a third.
Let's see what else we got. Lot of comments, which is good. There's just like so many games. Yeah,
I guess I've seen that twice.
I think Patrick's been spamming Purdue.
No, but I see another guy too.
Oh, okay. So what's the spread on PFW? I don't want to put a +140 money line in here.
He probably told all his boys to jump in the chat and
yeah, he's on all of his alts.
Fort Wayne.
I see. So we'll go Arkansas -2.5.
Purdue, Fort fucking Wayne.
Well, I mean that's what the F stands for, right? It's not Fort.
Yeah.
Purdue.
No, he did put the Fort fucking, so it's PFFW.
Mm-hmm. And you know we'll. I just have to make a call here. We'll go Texas Tech -5.5.
All right, Nick, you're gonna have to start it off because there's so many games today. I had a few in my head last night, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna wait to kind of see like what happens in the morning with line moves and everything." Mm-hmm. And anyways, you start.
Yeah. So I have a kind of off the wall play that I like quite a bit today. It's a team total. I have not given out a team total on stream before. I like the University of New Orleans Privateers over 79.5 points today against Northwestern State. So
why is that?
So I picked against Northwestern State on stream. I think it might have been Wednesday when we were on last with Nichols minus 5.5.
Yep.
And I said that I've watched an unreasonable amount of Northwestern State basketball this year. And this is just another spot that I feel is a good opportunity to take advantage of this Northwestern State team. They play at a crazy high tempo. So does New Orleans. Northwestern State can't defend at all. They foul a ton. And with the exception of Incarnate Word, who is the one team in the Southland Conference who plays at a crazy, crazy slow tempo, everybody goes for 80 plus against Northwestern State. Let me pull this game up real quick. So against Northwestern State, the last 4 games that they've played, they've allowed a team to hit 80 plus. Before that, Houston Baptist only scored 76. But they had a lot of opportunities. I mean, they missed a ton of free throws in that game. Could have easily gone over. And before that, I mean, they allowed 93 to McNeese, 97 to that same Houston Baptist team, 90 against Corpus Christi, 79 to Incarnate Word, the one slow team. It's just a sieve. These two teams played earlier this year on a neutral site in like the preseason tournament that the Southland did. New Orleans won that game 80 to 79. But they had 73 points with 6 minutes left. They just kind of got cold. They went to the foul line 30 times in that game. Which, I mean, and honestly, that's just kind of the way that Northwestern State plays. The teams get in the bonus against them in the first 5 minutes on a regular basis.
I was gonna say sometimes that number is an outlier, but like
no, with Northwestern State, it's not.
Yeah.
So I like New Orleans team total over 79.5. And yeah, people talking about FanDuel. FanDuel is down.
Ooh.
So
all right,
Ben,
Nick. So finding the best bet on a slate of 140 games is always tough for me, but I think I have the one, and I don't think Nick's gonna like it, but that's okay. It's okay. Colorado.
Okay, I knew you were gonna say this.
Colorado plus 10.5. Hold on one sec. Is it 10.5 right now? Ooh. 9.5. Well, I'm showing a 10.5 at win, but how do we want to go about that? And Caesars. What about 10 at Caesars? Is that fair?
Yeah, 10 at Caesars is fair.
Okay, that's fair. 10. Okay, plus 10. Colorado's burned me a few times, and the funny thing is I've been betting against them, and they burnt me. But last game I did, Nick talked me off that one, which thank you for that, saving me some money. But in this spot, Nick, traditionally, Tad Boyle, who's been head coach at CU since 2011, he's actually done very well against Arizona at home. And these have been games where Arizona was a highly ranked team. I really do think in this spot, Colorado's going to be able to keep it tight. They have to hit threes. They have to knock down threes. They were doing that very well on the road, and they've struggled at home at times doing that, which is so weird because, Nick, we've talked so much about how good Colorado has been at home versus the road. Like, their home-road splits are some of the craziest that you'll ever see with Tad Boyle, right? Like 50, 58, 59% ATS since like 2011 at home, and then it's like 38 on the road. This year it's been split the other way. It's kind of crazy. But I think in this spot, against a really good Arizona team. I understand. Arizona, to some people, Nick, is one of the best teams in college basketball.
To me,
and I get that. I 100% understand that. But this is a fringe bubble burst spot, too, for Colorado. Their record isn't as bad as a team like Syracuse, but they don't have any quality wins. I think Colorado comes out very prepared, and they can keep this close throughout, but at the end, Arizona's going to pull it out. They just have too much talent. But I do think Colorado can keep it close, and I'm going to go with the Arizona win by like 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's one of those that like when you place it, because when the game starts, Arizona is going to make plays and they're going to go on some runs, and I'm going to be like, oh man, here I am with a Colorado bet, and I'm from Colorado, and people are going to think I'm a fucking homer. But
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't like this.
Okay, that's fair.
Which is fine.
Which pick do you hate more? This one or the over in the Syracuse game?
Probably that over.
Okay. Well, at least I did something right there.
Like I don't want to bet on Arizona here. But
yeah,
I don't. With 150 plays, I think that there's better options on the board.
That's fair. There might be. I mean, I've I tried to go through as many as I could. Funny enough, Nick, the other one that I was kind of looking at was Northern Colorado.
Of course, it's just all the Colorado teams.
Well, at home against a bad Idaho team. But I will say Colorado State, I was like, ugh, no. I actually like Utah State there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So chat has spoken. And Texas Tech -5.5 is the chat consensus play today. 22 votes. That is 48% of the vote that came in. Arkansas -2.5 got 22%. UNC -4, the real UNC -4.
Hey,
got 17%. Unique nicknames, unique abbreviations are very important, Ben.
That's true. You gotta put that UNC
as
up.
evidenced by your Georgetown, Georgia Tech snafu.
Yeah, people were not happy about that one. Okay, at the same time, it was a mistake. Okay.
Yeah, GT has never been an abbreviation for Georgetown.
And it was and it was the same spread too. Like, what are the chances? Come on.
Yeah, this is just why it's important to have unique abbreviations.
Yeah.
All of the lady killers, self-appointed by Patrick, on Purdue Fort Wayne, 4 of them. Says, I'm not from Purdue Fort Wayne, so I'm not Homer, just a lock bias.
So that pick is 100% more valid than mine.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I believe him. The caps kind of make me not believe you.
He's literally like in line for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a home game?
I have no idea.
That was like one time on Trent's stream, the guy comes and he's like,
oh yeah, there's a guy
Arkansas.
In line at the Arkansas game.
Hey, they did cover.
They did.
But it was just funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you like Arkansas? Do you see this fucking line?
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, all right, you sold me.
Mm-hmm. So let's take a little time now and do some Q&A. We can talk about some other games, also some comments. 1K Glow. So do you guys like any college basketball player props? We cannot bet college basketball player props in Colorado, so I don't even look at them. Also, I saw you ask earlier if I was going to watch FNCS. The answer is yes. I will be watching it later.
I feel like if we did have player props, we would do really well.
Yeah.
And I actually want to say this. So back in like 2014, when I first did daily fantasy, they had college football daily fantasy in Colorado, and I think they still have it in the other states. But I had a few. I won a few on there. I made some good money on there. Just like you just have to stack like teams that aren't getting a lot of value and just stack like half their offense. Right? You get a wide receiver too who's worth like $3,000. But anyways, yep, we don't have access to that in Colorado. That's just how the laws are. But at least we can bet on our teams in state. Colorado, baby. I would literally, Nick, I think I would move.
Yeah.
Wyoming. Just move to Wyoming. I always feel bad though, Nick, when we give out a pick and someone's like, "I can't bet on that," and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's so lame."
Mm-hmm.
Do we ever bet on the Mac? Yes,
all the
but
time.
It's been very inconsistent.
Yeah, Mac is whack this year. So, let's see. Murray State is a question. I see also Penn and Dartmouth coming up a lot. It might just be velocity every time. I think he said it like at least 4 times. But let's talk about Murray State. So Murray State hosts SEMO today, or is on the road at SEMO, aka Southeast Missouri State. What is the line in this game?
It's a good question.
Pulling up the unabated dashboard.
SEMO doesn't pop it up.
So Murray State is 11.5 point favorites on the road. So this SEMO team is kind of weird. I've also like with Northwestern State, I've kind of watched an unreasonable amount of SEMO this year. They've got some kind of good players. DQ Nichols, I think it's actually Nicholas. He's a guy who can kind of get hot, and their freshman center, I forget what his name is, but he's a dude that has absolutely no reason. Oh wait, no, never mind. That guy doesn't play for SEMO. Just kidding. But yeah, I like Murray State. Long story short.
I mean, Murray State's just been a wagon. Sometimes it's one of those where you look at it and you could talk yourself out of it because it's a lot of points, but I just don't see them having any sort of letdown here. So I would have to lean with Murray State.
Yeah. Oh, but it's senior night.
Oh, it's senior night. That didn't work out too well last night.
No, I mean, if senior night is your only handicap, you're gonna go 50%.
Yeah.
Also, does SEMO even have seniors? They probably do.
Do they even celebrate seniors? My favorite, Nick, is even though Penn State covered, it was their senior night, but it wasn't their last home game. So
yeah, that's weird, right? Why is senior night not your last home game?
Because in my opinion, Nick, the last home game means more than a senior night.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's like celebrating your birthday, but then it's actually your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was the best. You get the cake on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anyways.
Oh, I thought that was a good analogy.
Okay. UNO is
University of New Orleans.
Not Scenic.
Who else could it be?
Nebraska Omaha.
But their abbreviation is OMA.
Hey. Preach. Don't shoot the messenger. You on Air Force?
Am I on Air Force? Am I on crack? No.
I'm pretty sure Nick wouldn't even take Air Force, even if he could get like 2 points of value or another.
I wouldn't take Air Force if the model had them by 100. Air Force basketball is a disgusting product.
minus 8. Man, you talk about home court advantage. New Mexico's probably getting 5 points. What's their home field or home court called? It's called the... No.
I have no clue.
It's not the Rack.
No, that's Rutgers. Speaking of Rutgers, though, they are favored by 2.5 at home today against Michigan. And that is a line. Rutgers,
what have I been saying about Rutgers, Nick?
Rutgers at home is so good.
Yeah. Nick, real quick, it's gotten to the point where it's like the Rockies at home, where you can't really explain the splits. Like, you know why to some extent, but the rest of it, it's just kind of like this weird. Is it just mental at this point? And I think it is. I think the teams coming in they let the rack and like the win percentage get to them, and then I think Rutgers themselves, they come in at home and they think they're a better team than they actually are. They have more confidence, and hey, it's been working for them.
Yeah. So I kind of like Rutgers there to cover the 2.5 at home against Wisconsin. I mean, I think on a neutral court, Wisconsin's a better team for sure, but at home, give me Rutgers. Velocity keeps asking about Penn and Dartmouth. I see the spread is Penn -2. I have Penn by like 2.3 plus, and it's the Ivy League, so that's my thoughts. What about Auburn and Tennessee? Tennessee's 3-point favorites at home. Yeah, I mean Auburn on the road it's like the opposite of Rutgers at home. Like they could be playing anywhere outside of Auburn, and you kind of gotta lean the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally won't be betting on that, but you've gotta lean Tennessee it's a Tennessee or fade until Auburn proves that they can put up a good 40 minutes on the road. Can't trust them.
Yeah, I would say the value has to be with Tennessee here. But I am refraining from that one.
Yeah, not a game to good game to watch, not a good game to bet on.
Also, Nick, kind of interesting. You don't see this too often, but FanDuel and DraftKings have a total difference of 2 for this game. 139.5 on FanDuel, 141.5 on DraftKings. Now, DraftKings, it is juiced to -120. Yeah. But it is kind of interesting. I mean, you'll see it here and there, but you don't see it often at this point of the day. Like, you'll see it the night before. So, kind of interesting. What are your thoughts on the total, if any?
I've got no clue.
Yeah, we'll see what...
I can see what the model says. I think model leans barely under.
Yeah, but Nick, not often in like a marquee game, I would say, that you could get an under at, or an over at +100. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, you could sell points. People are talking about buying points, but you can sell points.
Yeah. What else?
Hold on. So somebody said
Patrick's moving the line.
Yeah. Sharp action on PFW.
They're probably like, where is this coming from?
Exactly. It's got to be like when Fruity puts out the women's Olympic hockey plays. Mm-hmm. It's like books. Why are there tens of thousands of dollars suddenly being bet on all the same plays?
It would be really fun to like be even more structured with it and like say like, all right, in 5 seconds we're all gonna go to DraftKings, and then like 5, 4, 3, and then watch the line. That would be kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have to be like a small, smaller conference, right, where the handle isn't huge. But you could definitely see it.
Yeah. This better win, Patrick. Or you're gonna get some shit the next time you're in here.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, now I'm kind of intrigued with this game.
Yeah, I'm a little intrigued also.
I can't even say his fucking name. Mattress Mac has $1 million on it.
Purdue Fort Wayne money line.
That man, he's been on a cold spell.
I mean, he just bets as insurance for his promos. He's not actually like trying to be sharp.
It doesn't matter.
It's literally an insurance policy.
If you're still losing, you're still losing.
Yeah, but I mean, he won more money than he lost from the Super Bowl with his mattress promo.
I guess.
Like, that's why he bets like multiple times. Just an insurance policy. I think he was offering like full money back on purchases of over $3,000 if the Rams or if the Bengals won.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he bet on the Bengals as insurance.
Ooh, Oakland, Cleveland State. I actually was looking at this one, but
Oakland is on the shit list.
Yeah.
And Cleveland State is very close to being on the shit list.
So the thing with Cleveland State is if you can get the best out of both teams, Cleveland State's 4 or 5 points better. But they've had what, 3 games, Nick, probably recently where they've been pretty inconsistent. So that scares me because if they have one of those outings again today, Oakland could actually win this game. I mean, look at Detroit. They lost by 7 against Detroit. They lost by 4.
Detroit hasn't lost at home all year.
Yeah, that's true. They lost to Fort Wayne in 3 OTs. They lost to Illinois, Chicago. That's a fucking bad loss.
Yeah.
So, but then when they win, sometimes they look really good because they're probably going to come out of this conference unless they slip up in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the Horizon League, top to bottom, there's half the conference could easily win that conference tournament. It's not like a lot of other conferences where there's a for sure top team.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts there. Good luck.
Good luck.
You bet it. Good luck.
West Virginia and Texas is another interesting game. So is Trey Mitchell still not playing for Texas? Last I see is that he's out, which is not good for that team. What's his name? There's some injury concerns on West Virginia also.
Patrick's making me laugh, man. Mm-hmm. Patrick, here's what I'm proposing. If Fort Wayne doesn't win, you have to subscribe to our channel. But Nick, if they win, then what? We have to make this fair. I'm doing this on the fly.
I don't know.
We'll give you a big shout out. That's pretty good. I'll write it down and I'll say like next stream I'm on, I'll make sure to shout you out. Is that fair?
It couldn't possibly be more fair.
He's gonna be like, hell yeah, they're not losing. What else do you want from me?
Okay, yeah, so Trey Mitchell left the team. I didn't know if it was like taking a little bit of time off or if he's gone. But he's gone.
He's gone to IUPUI. No. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, gift him a sub. That's easy.
Oh yeah. That works. Perfect. Very easy solution.
It's like literally like he pays me $10, but if we lose, then what? Didn't you give him 10? Mm-hmm. Yeah, gift him a sub. That's easy. All right, Patrick. What time's that game at? Now I have to go watch it.
It starts in an hour.
Great, more Horizon League action. That's just what I wanted.
It's like Christmas.
I'll have that game on one screen. Oakland,
Yeah. Also, people talk. Wagner and Bryant is going to be a great game.
Ooh, yeah. Nick wanted to talk about that one.
Yeah, that was like the runner-up for mid-major spotlight because that's a battle for who wins the neck. I think I like Bryant in that game. Actually, model has Wagner, which is interesting. What's the spread there?
Wasn't it 2.5?
Lines are down.
Oh, on unabated?
Unabated, yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I think it was 2.5.
Yeah, I thought it was Bryant minus 2.5. I really like this Bryant team. Peter Kiss is an excellent player.
Yeah, and that's a good one to watch because one of those two teams most likely will probably win that conference tournament.
Yeah,
so.
it would be a massive surprise if a team other than those two came out of the Northeast Conference.
Also, Nick, you know what I'm ready for? Well, I'm not ready for. This is sarcastic that I'm ready for the next few days and weeks.
What is that?
Is when everyone has a team they like and they're like, they're a team to watch out for. I think you'll hear that about 90% of the teams that make the tournament.
Yeah,
like,
IUPUI is a team to watch out for.
Yeah, you got like, oh man, that Bryan team, but that actually makes sense. But you'll hear that about every school, just like, oh, they're a team you don't want to face in that first round, tough matchup. It's very cliche.
Yeah.
So if someone says that, you should just politely ask them, be like, why? And a lot of times they'll be like, they're good. They're good.
All right, I think it is time to wrap the stream up. Unless you've got anything else, Ben.
Patrick's entertaining me this morning. Patrick's never had more stock in a Horizon League game in his life. What did Purdue have, or what did the model have for Purdue, Nick?
Model had Purdue by 4.9. So basically exactly on the spread.
Yeah.
I saw it was like 4.5 or 5 at different books, which changes the models slate.
Ohio, it's a team to watch out for. Not on senior day.
Not on senior night.
Nick, the announcer in that game said, I haven't seen a team put together a more flawless half in all of college basketball this season. They were talking about Akron.
Yeah, who was it? Was it like Ali was like 9 of 11 from the field in the first half? Or something?
He's like talking to the bench. Like, he was talking so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he deserved it. He was stroking.
That he was.
Horizon League action, baby.
Mm-hmm. People ask about Texas Tech. I have Texas Tech by 5.2. So again, just like super, super close.
IPU, just start.
No. It's 2:45 our time.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can call this one.
Yeah, and if anybody has more questions, feel free to hop into the Discord. We can continue talking about stuff over there. I've got some work I have to get done today. But we can field some more questions in there. Appreciate everyone for tuning in to the stream. Be sure to drop a follow if you have not done so already. And also, be sure, if you have an Amazon Prime account, to link it with your Twitch account. Amazon owns Twitch. It is completely free, seamless integration. There's a link for how to do that in the chat. And once you have done that, you can subscribe for free to one channel every month. Use it here, use it somewhere else, but be sure to use it. Don't let Bezos keep that money. Give that to the poor Twitch streamers of the world.
Bezos makes like $1 million every day.
Mm-hmm.
No, probably more. Probably every hour.
Way more. The difference between relatively speaking, the difference between $1 million and $1 billion is the same as the difference between $1 and $1,000.
Man, Bezos should just become the new Mattress Mac.
Yeah.
I want to put $100 million down on Detroit Mercy.
I don't think books would take that.
No. What if a book took that? Oh my God. This is the biggest liability in our lives. 99.999% of the money is on Detroit Mercy. Nick, IUPUI? All right, I gotta get off this.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys. Good luck today.
Yep. Good luck, everyone. We'll be back on Monday with data mining. So be sure to tune in for that. Shout out Bezos. Love you.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.